Yeah, she opened the back door for me without looking at me. I jumped in. We started our ride. It just seemed like she wasn't driving quite right, which was a little worrisome for me. Um, and then we continued on. I go to look at my phone to make sure I was going to put my GPS on to see that we were going the correct way. And I had a couple missed calls and a call coming in. And one of the calls coming in was my actual Uber driver. She said, "Where are you? Where are you?" And she told me I should get out of the car, however I could.
Okay. What was it like for you trying to understand her when you realized you were in the wrong car?
I mean, I was just trying to tell her really simple things, like pull over, here's fine, let me out, I want to get out, please let me out. I had my actual Uber driver on the phone the entire time, and she seemed to be ignoring me, which was, again, worrisome.
Yeah. Is the hair okay?
Yeah.
Okay. At what point did you think something bad may be in the works or may happen to you?
The instant I got a call from my actual Uber driver, I had realized that she had been pinpointed as a great conversationalist, and this woman was not talking to me at all.
So that was a sign.
Yeah, it was really worrisome. She wasn't driving very well. She wouldn't respond to my simple questions, and then at the point where I was terrified, she wouldn't let me out of the car.
So what did you say to her precisely?
I said, "You need to let me out of the car." I was like, this is fine, next exit. I was like, "This isn't the right Uber, I need to get out." To which she replied, she pointed at her phone and said, Uber. And I said, "No, but like, I need to get out." So we got off of an exit and I saw some young girls and I said, "Those are my friends, I need to go see them. They're gonna call the cops if you don't let me out of the car." To which she slowed her car down enough, and I wasn't sure if she was going to stop, so I just jumped out.
And you had your stuff with you?
Kind of. I don't know if I'm missing things. I had most of it, because I only had a backpack. It was a short vacation, and the girls saw me running, and they're like, "Do you need help?" And one ran behind me and picked up my belongings, and I asked, like, is she gone? Is she gone? And they were like, "She sped off."
Did you call the police?
In that moment, I was still on the phone with my Uber driver so that she had my location mapped in her phone, my actual Uber driver. And she ended up trying to find me, and she was on the search. And as soon as I got in the car with her, I called the police.
And were they receptive to what happened to you, do you think?
They didn't show up, unfortunately. We were waiting at the Marriott downtown, and we had called them and told them what was going on. They said it was up to airport police, and then we called them back and they said they would send someone out, and I didn't talk to someone until the next day.
And that was today?
Yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this happened 2 days ago, Monday night?
Yes.
Okay. How have the police been with you speaking with them today?
They've been good. It seems like I get different sorts of information at every conversation, whether the Uber was legitimate or not, whether, they thought I had put in a report the first day that I had been taken, and at the end of the day, like, the dates and things just didn't really seem to line up.
When I talked to a spokeswoman in San Fran today from Uber, she said we don't know if the driver was really an Uber. Do you have any indication that the car you got into, that person did indeed work for Uber?
No, she didn't greet me. She reached back, opened the door for me. I've told everyone I was an idiot, and they're like, "Don't be sorry," I didn't see an Uber sticker. The car, to me, like, seemed very outdated to be an Uber, but was the same model as what I was supposed to be riding in. So I remain very skeptical.
And you'd mentioned in your post the sex trafficking part. What made you think that it could be part of that?
Yeah, so almost immediately, I get out and I saw the girls that I'd seen on the side of the road, and I had claimed they were my friends, and they were picking up my belongings. And they said she tried to pick us up as well.
Wow.
She's, for no reason, we weren't waiting for an Uber, we were out of a concert, and they're like, "She's a sex traffic worker." To which I responded, "How do you know?" And they were like, "Well, did she speak English?" And I said, "No." And she said, well, was it a black Elantra? I was like, yes. So later I tried to question my actual Uber driver about it, and she as well believed that that was a very real possibility.
How scary was it for you?
It was the scariest moment of my life. I mean, I've been through a lot. They say flight or flight and freeze, flight or fight, and I'm not quite sure what I did, but I got out of that car, and still to this day I stand by the fact that I think that that was life-changing.
Your response to the police telling us that it's not what it seems. Clearly the spokesperson wasn't there, and you can think what you want. So
Right.
what do you say to their response?
I just think there's so many holes in the story. I've been getting calls nonstop. It didn't help that I had a post from another news source that had mentioned my name and claimed that the story they had was factual. The case is open. It's under investigation. A big part of me hopes this is a huge misunderstanding and she is an Uber driver, but there were a lot of red cards for me, and I'm just trying to figure out, what the police can do.
Two other questions. Your message to other people who use Uber. There have been a number of cases reported where people are assaulted, they're
Yeah.
hurt, they're robbed. What would you tell people going forward?
I mean, check and check again. It's like the one time you don't check, and this is what happened to me. I had to run out of a moving vehicle, and just check. I think it's still a reliable source of transportation, but you need to be very cautious with everyone you interact with these days, unfortunately.
And the response you've gotten, more than 360,000 shares.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
It's insane. It started out really well until another news source got involved, but I wanted to get my story out. I hope that at the end of the day it was a complete miscommunication, but to me there are still a lot of red flags and holes in the story, and that's hard.
Thank you.